Dr. Tyson, you want 1% of government spending to go towards NASA as opposed to the current 0.5%. How does the average person in my position, just the average student, 20-something-year-old, help make this happen and help these conversations happen in the political sphere? What can I do?
Yeah, first, I don't go around saying what I want to happen. They're always if-then statements, all right? We're falling behind in the world in our capacity to compete scientifically. We're a capitalist democracy, so you'd think people care about your economy, and I know what can drive the economy. In the 21st century, where innovations in science and technology are the engines of tomorrow's economy, and here is NASA, this flywheel of innovation, not only within itself and what it spawns, but it's a cultural flywheel, in the sense that when NASA achieves and you're a kid, all of a sudden, big, cool things to achieve become something you think to do when you're in school. I'm old enough to remember a period when that actually happened. We're going to the moon. Holy, we're going to the moon. Wow. And oh, we need like engineers and physicists and biologists and medical doctors and geologists and all of a sudden the STEM field, the science, technology, engineering, math, became everybody's goal to participate in it. Even if you weren't a STEM professional, let's say you want to go into law, you were thinking maybe there's be some space law that could respond to your attention. So I said double NASA's budget, whatever it is, double it. And at the time it was half a penny on a dollar, so you double it to 1 penny. That would take care of this and solve these challenges. You shouldn't do it because I'm telling you to do it. You do it because you understand the causes and effects of what NASA is and has been, and we hope will continue to be in this nation.
Great. You were known for disagreeing with Pluto's classification as the 9th planet in our solar system, and this was later recognized by the IAU. Are there any other common misconceptions about space that you'd like to dispel?
Well, so the Pluto as a planet was not so much a misconception as Pluto had it coming all along, and we didn't know it. When Pluto was discovered, actually, I'll talk about Pluto tonight, but we're being filmed 9 ways here. So Pluto, when it was discovered, it was thought to have been a big thing. I mean, a big object, something like Neptune, a little less maybe, or even Earth-sized. But as the decades unfolded, as better and better measurements were brought to bear, the size of Pluto got smaller and smaller and smaller. And someone joked, well, at this rate, they projected forward, Pluto will disappear, at some point where these two lines converge. So once we settled on what the actual size of Pluto is, it's puny. Oh my gosh. It's 1/5 the mass of the moon. It really should have never been called a planet in the first place. And the real issue to me is how the solar system was taught. To all of us, myself included. You go back in time when we were all in elementary school, it was taught as an enumeration of objects. First is Mercury, that's planet number 1. What's the third? You'd get a question on an exam. What's the 3rd or 5th planet from the sun? And you take out your memorized sequence, and then you'd answer it. And somehow we convinced ourselves that we were learning science. There's no science in the number of planets that orbit the sun. There's no science in you memorizing what number it is. No. The science is in what objects, what do they have in common? How do they differ? All right? What are their relative sizes? What do they have storms or aurora? How much do they rotate? Physical properties of these things. And when you lay all that out, it's clear Pluto doesn't fit. It's a no-brainer that it doesn't fit. It never fit. In fact, it fits with a new class of objects that we found in the outer solar system. A whole bunch of tiny icy bodies that Pluto orbits with. So I think Pluto's cool there.
Thank you, Doctor. That was great.
I think the universe called me instead of it being I who sought it out. Because from then on, I couldn't get enough of the universe. And by the time I was 11, and I learned that you can get paid to be an astrophysicist, I said, that's for me. So from age 11 onward, if my answer to that annoying question that adults always ask, which is, what do they ask?
What do you want to
Class? What do you want to be when you grow up? At age 11, I'd say astrophysicist, and then they'd walk away. But so I've known my entire life, essentially my entire life.
Very interesting, thank you. So now that you are involved in astrophysics, how do you take such a sophisticated and elevated topic and subject matter and explain it to the average person on TV on your show? And also, how do you explain it to someone who doesn't understand necessarily what astrophysics is?
Yeah, you don't have to know the definition of the word to still embrace how cool it is to be ripped apart by the gravitational field of a black hole. That's just kind of cool, morbidly cool. You don't have to know the definition of the word. I'm not into word definitions. Words, I tweeted recently, words should not be destinations to the educator. They should just be tools. I do astrophysics. I study the universe, right? We're together on that. And so, the universe is, yes, it's complex. But I have the luxury of handpicking the cool things, whether or not they're complex, and then your attention is grabbed because the content is cool. We're looking for life on Mars. All right? Asteroid can come and render us extinct. There are atoms in your body that were forged in other parts of our galaxy. What does that take to understand? That's just 3 sentences. And I didn't dumb anything down. So, another stuff I didn't tell you about spectral line blending in the atmospheres of red giant stars. But I know in advance how boring that is. So I don't waste your time with it. I don't waste my time with it. If I'm sharing, it could be intensely interesting at a scientific conference. But there's too much else that would be interesting to the public that I've culled and I present to you at these talks. So often a field is considered hard when they have this whole vocabulary that stands between you and what it is they're talking about. So I don't understand what you're talking about because they're using words that they made no attempt to convert into something that anybody understands. And I don't have that problem in astrophysics.
Okay. And lastly, can you just explain to us the title of your talk tonight, which is This Just In, the Latest Discoveries in the Universe. You don't have to give us everything, all your secrets away, all your tricks, just a little bit of what you're going to be talking about tonight.
So actually, I put in a simpler title. It's just called Cosmic Discovery. And so it's a review. It'll last 18 months to 2 years. I haven't seen you guys. I was scheduled last year and I couldn't make it. I had to cancel. I was embarrassed. But we're here.
You're here now.
We're here
That's all
now.
that matters.
We're here now.
Yeah.
And so so over that time, some cool things have happened in the universe, or rather, our awareness of things that are cool has occurred in the last few years. And so I'm culling the coolest things and presenting it tonight.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.